Going in that 2010 season, obviously, so you play in all 14 games, and we all know what happens in 2010. You guys have a special year. You win the SEC East, go to the SEC title, still the only Gamecock team ever in school history to do so. Coming into that year, Aldrick, did you sort of feel that coming? Well, was that something where you sort of looked around or you at practice and you're like, we got a chance to be really, really good this year?
I thought we was going to be really good, but I don't think any of us was thinking like, SEC
right.
championship kind of good. That thought more came the year after.
Right.
We got some more people in and stuff like that, but we always felt like we were a really good team. We was really good defensively, and we just feel like, if offense can get us 28 points or not even 28, if they can get 17 to 20 points, like we feel like we can beat anybody. There's a few teams that give us struggles, like Arkansas, that will spread us out, and then dealing with Cam, he was just, he took over.
Superman. He was Superman.
Yeah, he took over. So we thought we were pretty good, man. We worked hard. We was a tight group. Like everybody, over the summer we played basketball together. We would go out together. Like it was fun time, man. The locker room was fun. Everybody played with each other. Wasn't no beef. It wasn't no animosity between each other. We didn't take it easy on one another. Whether me and Justice were roommates. He was a tight end. I was a DN. Like I brung it to him just as well as he brung it to me. So it was, we was out there to make each other better, and it showed.
Yeah, Justice was a real tenacious guy too. The way he played the game. I want to ask you 2010. You had, correct me if I'm wrong, you had a fumble recovery in the Troy game, correct?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so for whatever reason, this other website I was on, they didn't have a fumble recovery listed, but Gamecocks Online has got us covered. So I wanted to make sure, because I want to give you your credit, because 2010, there's a lot of games you can talk about, Alabama, Florida, I mean, just that entire run. But I want to stick to you specifically, because I'm sure looking back for you on your career, that one probably stands out. You recover a fumble, and you guys take care of business against Troy, obviously, but you recover a fumble, it leads to a touchdown 2 plays later. But for you, what did that mean as far as kind of your first big play in Garnet and Black? Again, I'm sure that had to be something, obviously I'm sure the emotions were running high when it happened. But again, for you to get your first big play as a Gamecock and to make an impact, just kind of talk about that. What you remember from that?
It just gave you like, confidence. Like, you come from being in high school, being one of the best players in your state, one of the best players on your team, and now you're on that next level. You need to feel some validation, like, hey, I belong here. I can do this. So that was just one of those moments, man, that solidified my mind. Like, hey, I can do this. So it's just something small, but it's big to anybody to finally make one play to feel comfortable out there.
For sure. So, and of course, we can talk about the rest of 2010, obviously, because there's so much. I mean, what your favorite memories? I mean, again, you still stand out, and you can still carry this with you forever, at least right now, that, on the only Gamecocks team that went to Atlanta, won the SEC East. Just talk about your favorite memories from that year, because, again, we could spend the entire show just talking about 2010, and really we could just break down each year and spend an entire podcast on it. But, you think of Alabama at home, you think of going to Florida and beating up on them, and then, it didn't go your way in Atlanta, of course, but I have to imagine that experience was just absolutely incredible.
I think the Alabama one, man, that was nobody thought we was gonna win. I think it was after practice, Coach Spurs said something like slick. I can't remember what it was, man. It was just like after practice, he was like almost basically saying like, trying not to get your ass kicked or something like that, of that sort. I mean, I don't know if he meant it or he was just trying to say something to, spark something on him. So, when he said it, everybody was just looking around like, "Damn, they really just said that." And, it laid out there. Alabama came in and we got on them pretty quick. Once we got up, like, we scored like those 3 touchdowns. I'm like, all right, it's gonna be tough for anybody to, especially with our defense. And Alabama like to run the football. And I'm like, ain't too many people just gonna run it down our throat and
Yeah, you guys held Mark. All the talk was Mark Ingram, and I think Trent Richardson was on that team. Yeah, both of all the talk was the 2-headed monster, and I mean, I think you held those guys. You guys held them like 50 rushing yards, I think, maybe.
Yeah. So. Ain't too many teams ran on us. Like LSU gave us trouble just because like they would get like 3 yards like every play. Like, you know, they were big up front. We was a smaller D line, so if we do make contact, they fall forward. It's 3 yards, but nobody was really like breaking 10-yard runs, 8-yard runs, you know, 20-yard runs on us like that at all. I could think of one team, Kentucky, and I don't know if it was my freshman or sophomore year when Randall Cobb, they were doing that Wildcat. That was pretty big at the time. And he ran for like 200 yards in that Wildcat stuff. And then a Campbell, of course, he ran for us. But other than that, nobody else. If you was going to beat us, you was going to spread us out like Arkansas. You was going to make passes on the field, but you're not running on us.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to ask you just that Bama game again. We could jump ahead because I mean you played in just some of the best games in school history. 2012 Georgia and some of those games in 11, some of those Clemson wins and stuff. But where does that Bama game rank for you? I got to imagine that's like maybe the best, if not the best, you know, second best or whatever game you ever played in at Carolina.
Yeah, just because of the magnitude. You know, there was a number one team.
College game days in town. And,
Did they win a championship the year before?
Yeah, the year before they did. Yeah.
Okay, and then, you know, they won a championship the year before.
They had won like 40 straight games or something crazy.
Yeah, I think Mark Ingram was coming off his Heisman Trophy year.
Yeah.
We actually played them the year before that, my freshman year, and they beat us pretty good at Alabama. So it was a lot on stake, man. We have that game was pretty big, most definitely.